Welcome to In Cadence, Season 1, Episode 15. Welcome to PAX Everywhere listening. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Ken, I'm 51, and in the gloom, PAX call me Shredder. I'm also AOQ at the Brook in London.
I'm Keith, 43, Flea, and I'm Nantan of the F3 UK Yorkshire region. And our epic guest today is...
Hi, I'm Clinton Sutherland, 44, and known as Crowbar.
Awesome. Welcome, Crowbar. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We're going to play cheese or chocolate with you. Do you understand what to do?
Yes.
That's what I like to see. He's done his homework. Done his homework. Right then. So I'm going to kick this off. You don't think about it too much. Just blast out your answers.
Okay.
So you've got to pick between the two things we give you. And the first option is red or blue.
Blue.
Birthday or Christmas?
I think Christmas is good. I like Christmas. It's not about me, right? It's about, it's just nice being with family and kids and just enjoying that special time of the year. I mean, yeah, I'm a Christian, so obviously I do celebrate the birth of Jesus, which is also, the reason for the season.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a wonderful time, just to give back, I think, to others. And yeah, it's a bit different for me here in the UK, because in South Africa we always celebrate Christmas in the summer, where we're having braais or barbecues. It's hot, kids are swimming. Although on the TV they still all the adverts still show snow. But yeah, it's something different. But it's nice, I really enjoy it. It's good.
Good. Whilst we're there, right?
Yeah.
So from your perspective, what is the difference between a braai and a barbecue?
So a barbecue involves patties and sausages. A braai involves steak and chops and chicken and meat.
That is the party line that I was taught by South Africans in my first church, and they said we can have a barbecue, but it's processed, brother. And I'm like, and then when the braai came out, so did the half a cow. Lightly seared,
pretty much. Yes.
Lightly seared and chewed with your teeth.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. Right then, what about cowabungas or 11s?
Cool. 11s, I think. Yeah, I like 11s. 11s are good. There's quite a variety with 11s. You can do a lot with it. It's not just focused on, you can do different muscles, you can focus on different parts of the body. Yeah, I prefer 11s, yeah.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs. I like dogs. I grew up with dogs. Cats, I don't know. The dogs are your best friend, right? They're just there. They're loving. They're always there. Cats are a bit needy. Yeah, dogs are good. I like dogs.
It's always that thing, isn't it? When we ask that question, we did it a couple of episodes ago with Shaman, and it was an incredibly funny answer. And you kind of looked around then going, what am I allowed to say about cats at this point? And I think, because equally, as much as we joke that the M might be listening, there's a small part of me that thinks the cats might also be listening, and they think we're pets, Strange animals. Okay.
And they've got a lot of feelings, don't they, cats? They actually, they do get upset quite. Yeah, they're quite temperamental, I find.
Yeah.
But dogs, they're cool. They're always there, loving, always by your side. Yeah.
I have quite a rule with cats. Like I have a no stroke rule. There's only been about 3 cats in the universe that I'm willingly going to stroke. And recently we have a ginger one near us, and he's mewing at me every time I see him. And he's called Weasley, ginger like Harry Potter. And a couple of weeks ago, I was like, okay then, Weasley, come on then. Because he's mewing and he's rubbing. And I just go out just to gently stroke him. And next thing I know, I've got teeth on my knuckles. And I'm going, that is why I don't trust a cat.
Yes.
I wanted you to stroke me 5 seconds ago. This is too late. Right, come on then. What about Bricks or Cindy's?
Cindy's. Cindy's are good. They all run. The reason I like Cindy's is just because they're heavier. Yeah. They push you a bit more. I love grave diggers.
Yeah.
Or anything with Cindy's really good to push you, good to use your muscles. Bricks are good, but if I'm going to use bricks, they have to be those solid engineering bricks, those heavy ones, not the ones with
Yeah.
the holes in them, right?
No, absolutely. Or like little half thickness ones you've nicked off someone's driveway.
Yeah.
None of those
Yeah.
cheeky sort of mini bricks.
Yeah.
Might as well use Lego, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
We only have stone bricks up in Yorkshire. We've got the yellow stone brick. They're heavy, the big ones. Oh yeah, they're like 4 kilos. Yeah, they're
That's what you
up a
want.
notch.
And you can do more. I mean, they are different. Like I've got a brick BD in progress at the moment, and it's an AB cone, you know, so they're going from A to B. But on one of the rounds, when they've transitioned with the bear crawl with the bricks, when they get there, they're doing 50 reps. And then they're going to bear crawl back, and then they're doing 50 of a different type, and then it's 45s. Because the bricks, like you say, the Cindy, it doesn't take long for you to feel that. Whereas the bricks, you've got to put a bit more in, like 10 reps of a brick, and most people are going. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, you have to do high rep counts, but they're quite good. I think bricks also quite effective. They're good for merkins. When you do merkins, you get that extra depth. If you're doing shoulders,
yeah.
if you want to do jack web with bricks, so you know jack webs where it's
Yeah.
yeah,
Jack Webb
you
with
can do that.
Cindy's is something, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're good laterally too, aren't they, bricks? You know, because
Yeah.
that lateral movement, we struggle to know what to do with our Cindy's because we don't have the American
Yeah.
style with the holes in them.
And I find a lot of, I mean, some packs tend to, you know, when it's a Cindy beatdown, sometimes they kind of don't really always HC to your post. But
I'd like to know what you do with Cindy's now.
if you say bricks, you know, you get a few more people. Before, when I did a few queues, I would just, you know, post say no equipment required, and I'll just turn up with bricks in the back of the car, and then just be like, yeah, here we go. Yeah, surprise them, I guess. It's good to push people.
You guys can't. You don't have a store, do you? At your AO, so that makes so that makes a difference anyway.
We've got a
You could bring anything.
big heavy duffel bag. We've got to carry all the time.
You could have a merry-go-round horse in the back of your car, as we talked about in the last episode. I got challenged yesterday by PAX because I've just bought a new punch bag for my son, and I've been out using it as a bit of therapeutic relief because it's the safe thing to hit, you know, a punch bag. And they said, you could mosey around the park with that. And I'm going, you could mosey, you know, carrying it like take your turns. And I'm going, yeah, 20 kilo sandbag, punch bag. It's your turn. Let's go. So,
Yeah.
This is exciting. I have no idea whose go it is, Flea.
My turn now.
Go on then.
Okay, so let's move on from workouts to food. So Friday night takeaway cheat meal. Are you going to go for fish and chips or pizza?
Fish and chips. Pizza is a bit too heavy for me. Yeah, I'd rather have something. I try and be healthy in my diet. Obviously, chips are not good, fried chips, but at least you feel a bit better. You're eating fish, right? Pizza's a bit heavy, but it always tastes good the next morning, right? If you don't eat it all.
Leftovers. Okay, for pudding then, flapjack or brownie?
Yeah, flapjack's a bit too plain. Brownie is good.
Okay, on to extreme sports. Skydiving or bungee jumping?
Wow, neither of them. I'm afraid of heights, but if I had to pick one, I'd have to say skydiving. Yeah, I think I'd like to try skydiving. I think that's quite an experience. Yeah, my wife's done it and she really enjoyed it. And it's something to tick off the bucket list. I think. Yeah.
What would you pick, Flea?
I was just about to say that sounds like the next CSOP, doesn't it? What would I pick? I hate heights as well, Crowbar, so I'm petrified of anything above 3 stories. If I'm looking out, I get all dizzy. Not a big fan of flying either, but I'll do it. If I had to choose out of those two, bungee jumping, because I trust the rope a bit more than the parachute.
Really?
Interesting.
I think so.
I would trust that parachute over that rope.
Well, you've got 2 parachutes.
You haven't got 2 ropes? Oh my goodness. Do you know that would make a fun CSUP, wouldn't it? The parachuting, I mean, not the bungee jumping, because allow that. I've heard all sorts of horror stories. Like, back in the 90s when I was in New Zealand, people were talking about eyeballs popping out and detached breast tissue and all sorts of crazies. And I'm going, mind you, some of my Kiwi friends used to jump off harbour bridges just for fun. So Kiwis are... You must know this, obviously, with your Tri-Nations rugby love, with the Box and the All Blacks and the Australians making up the numbers at the moment.
Yeah.
The Kiwis, they can be extra, right? They're pretty serious.
Yeah. They take no prisoners. Those guys are, they're serious. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's jump back to food slightly because I'm not quite sure why. I'd added some new ones in and then realised I've got a load of cluster food ones here. What about Yorkshire pudding or roast potato?
Yorkshire pudding. They're really good, but you have to have a good gravy with it. Yeah. Nice Yorkshire pudding. Yeah.
Can't put that. Not a Lancashire pudding, is it?
Are they easy to make, Yorkshire puddings? I mean, I've only
easy.
bought them.
Easy. Easy recipe for people listening. If anyone listening, it was a quick recipe: 100 grams of flour, 2 eggs, 300 grams of milk. Simple as that. That's the simplest way to do it. Flour and eggs, get it together so it's a paste. And slowly add your milk until it's thoroughly blended in. And then the trick is your vegetable oil goes in the oven hot, like 220 degrees, 230. Get it hot, then add the batter in and put it in 25, 30 minutes. Don't open the door. Trust the process.
Going to try that.
Used to be lard, didn't it? I remember my nana making lard, and you'd want it almost smoking when you open that door. It should be, ridiculously hot. They're banging as well. And you know what? Especially if you've just been smashing a Cindy workout, you need some carbs for that glycogen transfer for the muscle building. So not too many, like you say, but don't rob yourself.
Yorkshire
pudding. I've stopped making Yorkshire puddings since I've joined the Queen Accountability Group and posting my daily calories. If I start making Yorkshire puddings, it's all going to pot. So I don't trust myself.
Have you tried that stuffing thing that I showed you? So I was saying because we're both in the Queen group on WhatsApp, Crowbar, just to look at deficit. And one day I started having some stuffing with roast chicken and some green veg. And then one day I had this sort of weird brainwave where I decided I'd make a reverse Kiev. So I made up my portion of stuffing. I put the chicken in the middle, wrapped the stuffing around it like a giant coating, and then cooked it inside out. And it was banging. Good. And stuffing is a very filling, non-calorie rich addition to a plate. You can have half a packet of stuffing with 300 ml of water. You're talking about 140 calories. It's not.
That's nothing.
It's nothing.
Yeah.
That's
you burn that walk into the car, and
that's 5 rounds of Cindy's. It's just done, isn't it? Okay. So Yorkshire puddings all the way.
Yeah. Should we move on with this quick fire round of questions?
Yes, I know. Yeah, come on then.
It's not very quick fire at the moment.
Do you want to just slip to the last couple or something? Should we just do that?
Let's go to... Okay, here's a good one. Marmite or peanut butter?
Marmite. It's good on toast. Yeah. But toast has to be, warm toast, fresh. Bit of Marmite is good.
Nice. Okay, a bit more back on the extreme front. What about scuba diving or free diving? Which would you pick?
Scuba diving. I've done it before. It's been down there, and it's unreal. Just seeing the life down there.
You get the Jaws music in your head when you do that, because that's my only thing with underwaterness.
No, the first time I went, I forget where we were. I think we were in, not Portugal. I think it was in Egypt actually. And we went out on a boat cruise, and they were like, yeah, you're going to do diving. And I was like, I've never done it before. The guy's like, yeah, don't worry. Just get everything on, get your gear up. We're going down. And I'll never forget when you put your head under the water and you're trying to breathe with that mask on, and then but you just have to remember, just breathe through your mouth, don't breathe through your nose, just keep breathing. And but once you're down there and you actually settled, you don't really think about anything else. I mean, I didn't think about any shocks, but it's good.
I have that noise in my head when I just swim in the sea. I'm just like, damn it. Hate it. Okay.
And last question
Scuba
for
diving.
me
Cool.
on cheese or chocolate game. Sausage roll or Cornish pasty?
Sausage roll. I don't like the taste of Cornish pasties. I like pies or pastries, but I like a steak and kidney or a steak, or I'm a meat person, or sausage roll. Bit of brown sauce sometimes, or HP sauce. HP sauce on the sausage roll. They're quite good. You get them from petrol stations when you get a coffee. Get a hot sausage roll.
I thought you were going to say Greg's then.
Greg's,
I thought you were going to say Greg's. They've recently been complaining that that people taking the injections for fat loss is denting their profit margin. Hopefully we'll never get that level of ire from Greg's. F3 is denting our profit margin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wrote me a please come back letter when I started F3.
Did they? Please come back. We miss you, Keith.
Yeah.
Just have a little sausage roll. It's too funny. Oh gosh. Well, we're still in the warmer armor, boys.
Still in the warm up. Thanks for that great game of cheese or chocolate and the get to know you questions. I think it's now time to make our guesses about how you got your F3 nickname, Crowbar. I think it's my turn this week, Shredder, to kick it off and have a go.
Thank goodness.
I thought for this one, you seem to have some hidden skill at being able to break into things. Maybe carjacking, I think it's called in the US. You have a hidden skill for breaking into cars or vans.
Okay. I thought that you'd been in a Cluedo championships and you lost because you didn't pick the crowbar.
Interesting. Okay.
So what's the truth?
The truth is, I enjoy DIY. Yeah, simple. Yeah, so I enjoy doing a bit of DIY, building, doing whatever I can around the house, renovations, fixing up. We bought a house, wasn't in the greatest state, and pretty much just got stuck in, redid everything, learned from our good friend YouTube, and enjoyed it. So my wife always makes fun of me because she says whenever I need to hang something or if I need to screw in something, I always use the biggest screw, because just to make sure that it's not going anywhere. But
Good. You got crowbar because you like DIY. It's an interesting connect, right? Because it's not the most sort of prominent of the tools that would come into my head when someone says they like to do DIY.
Yeah. You'll be fixing, right? Not breaking.
You know, like, that just needs leveling. Let me get the crowbar.
Yeah.
Good. Okay then. Right, we're gonna jump into the thing with you then, and just to give a little context to PAX listening or watching us, if you're watching us on YouTube. Hi, Mum. We, as I checked today, we have 24 PAX in the UK who've posted the amount of times you've posted, and that's 24 that have been on 400 or more HCs, and that's no small amount of commitment to your brothers and to acceleration. It kind of occurred to me that if your 400 club, if you were the Beach Boys, your song on the Songorama would be "I Get Around," because that's a big number, isn't it? So we want to unpick that with you a bit.
Okay. Yeah, I think. Well, for me, he has been quite quite a journey for me. I saw a post on Facebook in December 2022. At the time, I was struggling mentally. Had some health problems in my stomach, and it just got into my head, and I was kind of got to a point where I thought, am I going to be okay? Is it going to, you always think of that famous word, cancer. And, my brain just, unfortunately for me, when I'm in situations, my brain takes over sometimes, and you can't control those thoughts. And one night I'd put my daughter to bed, read her story, and I was actually just sitting in her room after reading her the story, and I had my phone and scrolling, and I saw this post from Safari, and I thought, this is good. The post was pretty much, we're a bunch of men, we get together, we work out, we meet up. Do you want to join us? Really simple. And I reached out, I said yes. And I was a bit, so on the day, the 29th, I think it was, 29th of December, nice and cold. I drove to the office, to the location that I was given, but the location was slightly off from where they actually met up. It's like a dual carriageway, and they met up off the dual carriageway, kind of on the grass area, a bit dark. I didn't see them, so I drove around, and I was like, no one's here. I'm just going to go home. And pretty much you have to go around this roundabout and then come back. And on the way back, I saw them on the opposite side. So I had to go all the way down, around the roundabout, come all the way back again on the dual carriageway. Stopped, got there, I was late, and they just said, oh, welcome. Here's a pair of gloves. Let's go. And I was like, okay. And they were like, they mentioned the word FNG, and I'm like, what is FNG? Are they calling me FNG? And they're like, yeah, let's go. There was no, normally, when someone comes, like, this is your battle buddy, and you kind of, because you're there before the time. And I just, I was 2 minutes already they were already 2 minutes into the warmer armor. So, yeah, and off we went. But, yeah, kind of getting back onto my journey. So for me, it was, I got stuck in, and that 1 hour, or that 45 minutes, that every beatdown I HC2 was for myself. Unfortunately, I wasn't going for anyone else. It was for me, where for that hour, my brain switched off, and I almost told myself, look, you're going to be okay. There's nothing wrong with your stomach. Every beatdown, I pushed myself, and I said, you can get through it. And I just kept on going, it just kept going, and I was like going, and I just kept on HCing and carried on. And, there were times when it was just 2 of us, 3 of us. And then obviously you get that PAX that says, right, now it's your time to do your VQ. And then you're like, okay. So yeah, you do your VQ. Well, and you get stuck in, you start queuing. And then it kind of changed. My journey kind of changed from where I worked through all of that, and, I got over that, and, everything was good. Health was good. I'm great. But then it kind of became fitness. I wanted to be fitter. I wanted to keep pushing myself fitter. We all men, some are younger than us, some are older, but you always try and keep up with the younger ones, unfortunately. And yeah, I would always try and, keep up with the younger guys. Some of the packs, Gobby was, he's so fit. At that time, loads of them, switch. I used to try and keep up with these guys. And I just kept on posting, and slowly it kind of changed from the fitness, where I was like, okay, this is good. I feel fit now. I'm feeling better, healthier, feeling good about myself. And then it kind of changed, where it became more of a supportive, where I changed and I wanted to support the AO. I wanted to be there for that. I wanted to be there for the other packs. Every time I hate seed would be for the other man. Try and build our AO and grow it. The office has always been around an average of 8 packs. We've never been really big, so we've always been quite close as an AO, and it's kind of been like that for me. And then Walter moved on. He started obviously office. He moved on. Crampon moved on. He started, the link. And I just kind of, I never felt the need to start my own AO. I always just wanted to be there to support and be there for the other packs, and I think it's because in the early days when I started F3, there was many times when there was only 2 or 3 of us, and I know what it felt like when I queued, and there was only 1 or 2 people there. So I always make sure that when another man's queuing, I'm there to support him, to support the other packs, So that's how my journey kind of went, and I've kind of always tried to support the other AOs. The reason why I've reached 400 beatdowns is, just mainly because I try and support, the link that Crampon started. Also, the offices, it's pretty much where my heart is. And now where my journey is, where, as I mentioned earlier, where family, where my wife, and we're going through some stuff now where my mother-in-law has cancer, and obviously now it's back to where I feel like the wheel has changed, where now I'm back on the mindset part, where now my mind has to be stronger, where you're going again to kind of get away from the kind of mindset. But also, I find when I go to F3 and I come back, I'm a better person. We all go through stress in life. We all go through stuff, and it's just, that 1 hour of just being out there in the cold, when it's freezing cold, you're pushing yourself, you get back in the car, you drive home, just even that drive, getting back, driving home, you get home and it's, or you drive into the office afterwards to work or whatever, you feel so much better. And yeah, so now on my journey, it's kind of been, where now I'm in a place where I want to do fitness. So recently I decided to get myself a weight vest. After so many years of being in F3, I thought, now's the time, let's get a weight vest, let's push myself even more, try and encourage and obviously, hopefully they will encourage other packs to push themselves. Yeah. So that's kind of where my journey's been. Now it's, back on the mindset kind of thing. But it's amazing how this time round on the mindset part, I'm not alone. I have all the packs with me. In the beginning, it was just me because I was fresh. I just started. I was just coming there to forget. Whereas now I can come, I can share and speak to the other guys. We've kind of have that bond now, and I'm no longer alone. You almost feel, like Crust the other day. So before, I kind of took my time out to do babysitting. I did my last queue, and it was just myself and Crust, raining, horrible weather. But, he brought me some fresh bread that he had baked, and he's like, "Yes, some bread for you and the kids. If you need anything, you let me know." And it's these things, these small little things, that really go the extra mile. And, the packs really make a big difference now because you're almost like a family, right? You're no longer alone. So, yeah, that's pretty much been my journey. We've had some fun times. I did GTE part of that journey, which was interesting. I don't think I'll do it again. It was tough. I won't lie to you, carrying that log. It's something that, it's something that I had to do to prove to myself that I can do it. And now that I've done it, I'm like, I don't need to do it again. I know I can do it, but it was tough. I won't lie to you. It was an experience. The bonds that you make from going through that together as men. It's, someone once said to me, it's funny how men, when they look at each other face to face, the conversation is shorter and you won't open up as much. But if you're walking side by side and not looking at the man face to face, you actually tend to open up more and speak and talk. And, it's funny how, during the GT and, even when you do rucks, you just talk so much, you open up. It's so good for you, I think sometimes men need to embrace the softer touches, right, of us. We always try to be manly men, right? But we're all humans at the end of the day. We all have feelings, and sometimes we need to just embrace them, I guess.
Thank you for that summary. You answered a lot of my questions that I had lined up already. So you're already sort of answering my questions as we went along. No. So, it was fantastic, and it was great to hear you go through from stage to stage and explain how F3 is added to your life in various ways over the years. I think you picked on a very important point there that I think I hate to be black and white about it, but generally women build relationships face to face and men build it shoulder to shoulder. That's been coined over the last couple of weeks, and I think Dark Helmet mentioned it on State of the Nation and Jason Khalipa on his podcast as well. So again, it's how we grow, it's how we develop, and we talk more when we're going through that tough challenge or whatever it is. If we're carrying a log, if we're doing burpees in the mud or whatever, you build that camaraderie with the guy next to you and the guys in the circle. It works, and you come out of it stronger. At the end of the day, daily you come out stronger, and over time it builds and builds and builds, and the relationship between those packs that you're posting with and the wider F3 network becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. And you've got that support network there. It may not seem it, but those guys are there for you.
Very true. It's amazing how I think, I'm sure Walter's been a big inspiration to a lot of men. For me, particularly, he's inspired me quite a lot. F3, just the way that things are always done the way they should be done, and you always stick to what should be done. The rules are the rules. I know a lot of people think it's a cult, but I think the process is that it works, right? Why change it? I couldn't see my life without F3, to be honest. That's quite I think I've benefited so much from F3 as a man, as an individual, learning that just from HC and just by putting that HC and committing, teaches you a lot, because once you've put that HC down and that alarm clock goes off and it's pouring outside and it's cold, you've put that HC there, you get out of bed, you get your clothes on and you get out there, right? No matter what.
You recognize the change in yourself. I mean, this week just gone, I hit 150 posts. And what are you on? 200 something now, Flea?
I just had to open up our spreadsheet to track because I was curious.
I was trying to remember.
When am I going to hit this 400 club? I'm 259 as of today.
There you go. And it's interesting as I've seen the growth of the new packs in the book, and they're taking their first winter, and one or two of the really fresh ones. And you talked to them about one of our guys, a nice guy. He had a few weeks down low because he got bitten by a dog, and we were out, and he couldn't close his hand properly. Had a horrible time with it. We were out in a BD, I think it was a week Tuesday, and he got a poncho on, a rain poncho. And I said, and he said, I don't know, like this, and I was just in my normal workout gear, and I said to him, last year, in my first 6 months, I remember so many times trying to handle BDs in waterproofs. I just got wet. It just down your bum crack everywhere. It was totally pointless, right? And I mean, he wasn't there the day when we were predicted a proper rainstorm, and I chose "It's Raining Men" as our song-orama, and they were going to be rolling in the water. I literally picked rolling around exercises, and it turned out dry, so we changed a few things. But like I said to him now, you're still, and it's great because you're here. I said, but you're going to have a nightmare. And the queue had us running Well, watching a man trying to run in the wind and the rain in a poncho is one of the funniest things in my life. And I'm like, sometimes he was going backwards. Yeah, basically, it's like this. And I was just like, dude. But I know next winter, he'll just be in his workout gear going, I don't care.
That's
You
it.
know, you put the trainers in the, well, in our house, they go on in the airing cupboard on the top of the water tank when they're wet. And everything else goes in the wash because it smells like sweat and wet dog, you know, and you just get on, don't you?
That's it. Yeah.
And you can't not, like Dredd said, you just can't not. And that's world changing. That's so good.
Yeah.
I have loads of questions, right? So you dig in. I've got
what is a technical question for you. And this isn't a question we've asked anyone else yet.
Right.
Although I do feel it might be a staple one. How many pairs of trainers do you have for BDs? Do you just have the one or do you have multiple pairs? Or is it just me with the shoe problem?
At the moment, I've got two pairs of shoes, but I did have, at one stage, I had 4, but they've kind of putting them in the washing machine every time they get wet. Eventually the soles just, so now, but I got two good pairs that, I have to switch between because you go to 1B down, they get wet and then you have the other ones.
This is what Vinted's for, you know, you get used ones. Well, I did my Valor Day and I wore Nike Trail trainers for the Valor Day, which is obviously the day version of GTE. And they came off Vinted and they cost me £10.
Wow, that's
and
perfect.
I'm like, they're going to get trashed. And I mean, Cadre Danny made sure they got trashed, you know, £10, you know. So can I ask you about your GTE? Did you do the infamous one with the Guildford Fire Brigade, or did you do the one after that?
After that.
So you did the one where you were in the river,
yes,
and a number of people got sick afterwards.
Yes, me too.
Oh, bless you. Yeah.
And it was just, the water was quite bad, but I literally, just from touching my lip from my gloves that were wet, not even drinking the water, it was, but it was good.
You could argue that the river under a road bridge, it might not be the best place to have done that, given what flows into rivers from road bridges, plus what animals do it to rivers do. But I watched because this was around the time I was just looking to come and to get in, and I watched that with a great deal of drool. I must say, I was like, oh, this looks so good. No, but okay, because I know that was a tough GTE on the reports, but also the year before where they got hosed down by the Guildford Fire Brigade.
I think that was worse.
That was extra. You know, I think even the cadre were like, we didn't expect the fire brigade to go that mad.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, that's one of my questions. That's a question. That's a light question done. So, trainers, GTE. You mentioned a minute ago, Flea, about this shoulder-to-shoulder thing, because obviously, Crowbar, you'd said it, and it has come up a bit in cultures, hasn't it, recently? I wonder whether we spend enough time doing BDs that are shoulder-to-shoulder. And I suspect we do a lot of pair stuff, but often my experience of pair stuff is it's very head-to-head. You know, I'll stay here and do this while you bog off and do that. And, you know what I mean? Like that.
Yeah.
Whereas I wonder if because we know it's powerful, and you guys are right, it's a force. We don't use that enough. Just a thought, really.
Mostly running pairs.
Running pairs, or the concept in, I think some of the US AOs have talked about, is the suffer in place. So it's very much like a station set where you do something together as the group, and then you all move. Like pearls on a string, but you stay as a group.
Yeah.
And you move off and you do whatever it's 50 Merkins, 50 big boy sit-ups, and then move to a few hundred meters away, do something else, and then carry a sandbag for whatever, and then do something else. So that way you keep the group together, encourage that mumble chatter or a banter, whatever you want to call it. But not too much. It means you're not working hard enough.
I don't think that's the thing. I think in a workout, I mean, I talk from my own self, right? I don't want to talk. I'm there to be smoked, right? So I want to leave there sweating and feeling like I've had a workout. I don't want to leave there feeling like I've used my jaw. But you want to have that at the end with the coffee, right? Where you can stand next to someone and know they're there and have that chat. So it's quite difficult, isn't it? I guess that's why we have the these, which are good. A lot of packs, open up at 30-30s.
I think you are right, though. Sometimes there's moments where you either experience it at packs or if you're queuing, and you do think, I'm surprised people have the lungs to chat this much with what we're being required to do here. And occasionally, it's interesting. On Sunday, we had a digit from the Weir come, and we did 7 of diamonds. And after the first round, there was not a lot of talking. In fact, myself and the AOQ were deliberately kind of shouting, just keep digging in, keep pressing on, because it was very quiet, because it was not a light 7 of diamonds. It was very good. Yeah, I think I hit nearly 170 on a heart rate, which is limits when you're 51. I'm at the top at that point then. Yeah, okay. Lee, you got a question. You got your hand up, brother.
I got a question back to how you started in F3, and you said you saw this advert on Facebook, which seems to be quite a common way for us to get guys in the UK. It is seems to be quite an organic way of getting things in. Did you know Safari was from the continent of Africa before you joined?
No.
You just happened to be within the community.
I think it was on a post. I live in Reading, right? So I think it was on a post, South Africans in Reading.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think on that group. I can't remember exactly where, but no, I didn't know he was South African. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. Because there is quite a contingent of South Africans, isn't there, around the West London, out Surrey and London borders, yes. AOs. Yeah,
we've got a lot in Wimbledon. We haven't got them in yet, because I'm in 2 South African and Southwest London groups when we advertise the book. And I keep hoping for them, because I still contend that currently you're our version of Scots in F3. Kind of like hardcore and a bit mad. And we haven't really broken the Scots in yet, have we?
No. I was just wondering, is it something that appeals more to South Africans, or is it just because there's a great network of South Africans who are very good in their network? I'm just trying to understand. Is it one of those?
It's South Africans are they enjoy fitness, right? I think South Africans also enjoy, what would you call it? Socializing. So, getting out, socializing, exercising, fitness, it's quite key.
How heavy is your weight vest?
Only 5.
Okay. It's not a bad place to start, is it?
No. Yeah, so basically, over Christmas, I put on about 5 kilos. I don't work in stones.
No, it's fine. I do kilos too.
Yeah. So I put on about 5 kilos. I was just eating over Christmas, eating, and a lot of drinking too. A few bottles of white wine, and just enjoying that time of year, And I put on 5 kilos, and I got back, and I was like, oh man, this is tough. And I had been wanting to get a weight vest, and I thought, well, it's a new year. Let me get a weight vest. I'm going to get one. Time to push myself forward. And I thought, well, I put on 5 kilos, so I will start with 5 kilos. If I lose 5 kilos in weight, I've still got it on me in the weight vest, and I'll just add on to that. So it's a good way to start. It's it is quite tough with the weight vest, but I think you got to, if you're going to use a weight vest, some people go 10 kilos, but for me it's kind of like a journey, right, where I want to always kind of wear a weight vest now.
Is it a plate one rather than the ones with the little sort of weight lumps?
Yeah.
That's better for BDs, I'll be honest, I think.
Yeah, it's quite good, yeah. Yeah, there's plates in the front and back.
Force Fitness?
No, Rogue.
Rogue. Okay, that's a good make. That's a good make. I've got a 20 kilo. In fact, I've got 220 kilos in my workout shed, which seems a bit like, sounds like the TARDIS the way I talk about it. I had the original one, which was the beanbags. And then last Christmas, I had money off my in-laws as part of my birthday present, and I bought a proper MAD, the one with the metal plates, but they're not flat. They look like little, slightly larger than large matchboxes, and there's loads of them. And last year, when the burpee challenge happened, I started doing the burpee challenge in the 20 kilo vest. It was a heart raiser.
Yeah.
But 5's great though, and especially if you've got plate there, because it doesn't stop you doing Merkins. It doesn't stop you doing squats, lunges. It's not an impediment. And you're right, it just adds that challenge. And when it's gone, you're still pushing yourself.
Yeah.
So if there's any plate manufacturers that want to kind of sponsor UK packs to get fitter, you can send us some.
Yeah.
Because they're not cheap, are they?
No, they're not. No.
It's good.
I've got one of those, with the metal balls in, almost like sandbags, but it jostles a lot when it shakes a bit. It's okay, but like you say, if you start doing side straddle hops in it, there is a bit to it, and it's it gets quite heavy. Quite fancy the plate one. I think I might invest.
I like the heavier one. I liked because it made the burpees hard, but it's great for things like step ups. So if you've got, I do use my weight bench and step up, or hold the kettlebells and do step ups like that and add that extra weight, because then I'm kind of going, say weighing 90 kilos with a 20 kilo vest on plus 20 kilo kettlebells. I'm then going, holy crap, I've got 60 kilos of weight that I'm carrying. That puts me up to 150. That's way heavier than I was when I was like 120 kilos. But it's nice just to have different tools that you can employ, and I think that's inspiring. To be actually trying to do that and make it standard, make it standard for you. And actually, even if you've got packs and they think that's too much, if they've got a little rucksack, they could put a couple of kilos in it, just a little bit.
That's it. Yeah, you just start little bit by little bit. You just keep adding. I mean, you notice the difference. When you're doing squats or Merkins, even burpees, running, moseying, you do feel it. And I mean, like when I wasn't wearing a weight vest, I'd do a beat down and I'd burn maybe between 500 and 600 calories. You put the weight vest on, and then it goes up to like 900 calories. And that's only for 5 kilos, right? I mean, it's just that extra weight. It makes such a difference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, definitely. It is potentially for some packs who perhaps feel like, I'm plateauing in some things. That is another way just to add a little bit. I think one of the things I like about this world that we've got is people are pushing themselves, but it doesn't tend to be in a glory way. They don't tend to, because I think one of the downsides with the gym world is I've got some great friends in my last workout community, and they seemed a bit confused about that I was no longer wanted to push PBs, so I'm like, well, I've stopped doing that, and I'm not sitting there going, well, how much can I bench press today? And and it's not bad that they want to do that, but that little bit of a challenge with a vest then allows you just to go, right, well, I'm still trying to push it. I mean, that's not a bad thing, especially as, like you say, age doesn't give you there's no gimmies, is there? It doesn't.
No.
And it is good. You're trying to push with those younger packs. That's one of the things that I like doing. I'm like, when you get in a situation where you can keep up with guys, not in every way necessarily, but in some ways where they're in their 30s, like, I'll take that to the bank.
Yeah.
It is a change in mindset, though, moving from ultimate strength to a conditioning mindset. And like you said there, Shredder, it's not chasing the PB for the heaviest weight you can lift. It's the fact of, can you handle that weight reliably and consistently and do it with ease? And that's a mind, as you get older, it's more important to look after the conditioning and make sure that you can keep moving, keep flexible, keep supple, be able to move yourself, get up off the floor, get down to the floor. These are the tasks as we get into our 60s and 70s that we're building now, we're working on now to make sure that when we get to that age, we can keep doing it.
Definitely hear a lot of packs complain about get-ups. Just the simple get down on the floor without using your hands. Get back. I like putting them in warmer armors probably every other time I cue. And you see all of these grown men and
great, man. No hand burpees are great. No hand burpees are brilliant. You get them stood up and get on your knees and then flat on the floor on your face and then get up. Honestly, it's brilliant to do. Probably not on a parking.
I would do it on the grass.
Do it on the grass, but it's a funny one to do. I did it at the mansion on one of our inaugural beatdowns when we started that AO. I got him to do it on the grass. There's a video of it somewhere. Let's see if I can get it on here somehow. Peace on your own. Exercise. Well done, Sage. Keep going.
That's not a bad shot, actually. Yeah.
No,
burpees. Yeah.
I shout out to a Pax recently who I led a infinity loop at the weir, and halfway around decided he wanted us to try and do Cindy get-ups. Getting up with the cinder block from the floor without using your hands. And I must confess, I gypped out. I was like, I'm good. But I watched him do 5 and I was like, yeah, legend. And then I'm going, Cindy, get up now. But you were going to say something else as well in Crowbar.
I forgot, but I remember when I first joined F3. I mean, I couldn't even do 5 Merkins. It was tough. And if you look back now, yeah, you can do 20, and it's just that you keep pushing yourself every step. You keep going. I have a saying that I always say sometimes, whenever there's a really tough exercise that's called, I always just say, look, it's how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. Just get through it. Just keep going. It's the only way, right? And you actually look back and you think, I actually did it. How I did it, I don't know, but I did it.
Second time I've had a guest talk about eating elephants. Trying to remember the first
that
one.
That would go on a braai, not a barbecue.
I was going to say it's definitely going to be a bride elephant, isn't it?
Yeah, bride elephant. I don't know if I'll eat elephant, but
then this is the problem now because I'm sitting there going, well, you'd have to eat them when they're young, and then you get into trouble for eating baby elephants, and oh dear. Well, I'm just a Dumbo, I guess. I drew a picture earlier when you were talking about this kind of the mental health, starting the mental health and the physical health, and then the serving others, and then and I wrote down this kind of mindset loop. And I wonder if that testimony of yours might actually resonate with a lot of people. This idea of why we come. And also a moment ago, you said, when you started, you couldn't do 5. But now if we're doing 20, that's grand, that's fine. But I think perhaps some of that comes down to the shift of coming as Crowbar, as then transitioning to the point when you're packs amongst brothers. You know what I mean? So the idea that when you start, you go, I can't do more than 5. But soon in time, you get to a bit where you go, we're doing 20. Because everything, whether it's just 2 of you or 2 of us in any area, it's never just me anymore, is it? and there's a mindset shift in our heads.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you're always doing it for not only for yourself, but you're doing it for your brother next to you that you're trying to push. Or he might be even pushing you. I refer back to my last beatdown that I did with Crust. It was just the two of us, and we basically we did a mosey out down the dual carriageway. Did a mosey out right to the beginning of where you come into Thames Valley Park. Did a few exercises there, and then on the way back, we were doing few exercises between each lamppost. So, and the distance between each lamppost was quite a distance. I can't remember I think we did, one was lunges, bear crawl, but the final one was alligator merkins from post to post. And there was a lorry there, which was about parked in the road, just, a few lorries parked there sometimes and they sleep the night. And there was a lorry there, and I looked at the lorry and I was like, I was doing it. Crust was ahead of me. I just kept going and I looked at the lorry and I thought to myself, yeah, maybe I should just call it to the lorry and back. But Crust had just gone past the lorry. I'm like, no, I can't. Got to just keep going. He kept going and I kept going. He got to the end and he's like, come on. And I just kept going. And that's how you do it. You just go through it together, one step at a time, Yeah. And you push each other. It was great. Yeah.
So, question, we used this last interview and I thought it's a good one. So I wanted to ask you is basically, how do you feel like F3 helps you to show up in the hard places in life?
For me, I think a lot of it is when you get to a hard place in life and you're stuck there, I almost refer back to a beatdown sometimes. And I think to myself, I never gave up through that exercise. I kept going. I made it through to the end. I hate seed for that beatdown. I got to the beatdown. I went through the workout, got to the end, did the Namarama, had a coffee, and went home. I can do the same through this task, or if I'm in a hard place in life. You kind of think about what you've done, and you kind of think, well, I made it through that beatdown. I made it through that exercise. I can continue. I think it's one of my toughest beatdowns I've ever had. We did it for November, and Totti led the queue. He's quite fit. He's one of those that I'm chasing all the time, young gentleman. And the beatdown was, I got to remember now, we had to get to, I think, basically we raised the funds. Our funds that we raised was £900, and we had to do 900 burpees or exercises, something like that in the beat. I can't remember, but it was, yeah. It was tough. It was an hour session and we actually made it. We all did it. It was I wish I had the backblast and I could actually check it, but it was, so you did squats, big boy sit-ups, you did the burpees, and there was another exercise, and it was like, I think we got through, I think it was 250 burpees is what we did on the burpee exercise. Each exercise was 250 we got to, I think, of everything. But we kept pretty much going round and round and round, doing just 5 core exercises. But yeah.
I can tell you. I found it.
You got it.
Yeah. So Catarama was Crust, Tango, Crowbar, Gobby, Atom, and Totti. 900 raised. So 900 reps split out as following: 125 burpees, 125 squats, 125 merkins, 125 big boy sit-ups, 25 reps per exercise, break after each round. 3 MVPs, and yes, because I remember Crust moustache when we had him on. Well done, you. That is awesome. That's no small feat. I mean, Crust moustache was no small feat either. That was
No.
that was an impressive tash. That one, you could have flew a Spitfire
Yes.
with that bad boy.
See, I only know him with the moustache, so when I see him without the moustache, I'll be confused.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused too, and I've seen pictures of him since.
That was quite a challenge, to be fair. We struggled. It wasn't an easy task, but we got through it all together. We pushed each other, and these are the moments that you cherish. Yeah, those are the things that you look back, and that's what we did it together, not for us, not for ourselves, but in support of a greater cause, to support other men out there.
Sometimes you're standing up for people who can't stand up, and can't stand up is probably an appropriate theme after that many big boy sit-ups and Merkins and burpees. The squats aren't too bad, are they? I mean, 225 squats is a lot, but that's quite quick. But that is, when you think about that burpee, especially if you're doing in good form and you're actually pushing a Merkin on your burpee, that's 450 Merkins you boys did there. It's a hell of a chunk of shoulders.
Yeah. And burpees is, I think that's one of my all-time favorites. I think if you had to ask me what's my favorite exercise, I'd have to say burpee. Nice, good form, straight, with the jump at the end. Yeah, good burpee is. It focuses on everything, right? All your muscles, everything. Yeah, really good.
I'm definitely enjoying having time off for them after doing them for the year. But I'm really getting into Merkins now this year with the 50 a day. I'm really enjoying it. Today I picked up a couple of these weighted rubberized tubes that are about 4 foot long. I'm hoping to take them to some beatdowns, and they were developed for Canadian ice hockey training. And I was doing Merkins on them. It was wobbling. This was after we had Trumpet having us doing Merkins a couple of weeks ago in our rugby BD on rugby balls on the grass. Wobbly as anything. It was brilliant. And we did offset, center, offset, and it was just back and forwards like this. And we had so much fun with that, man. We were decking training dummies, and we were playing bear crawl. We were bear crawl scrumming each other.
Yeah,
so much fun. We trashed the grass. Shall we £1 million question it then? Is that good? Okay. I feel like I should have come up with something better, really, but we'll go with this one because I need to know the potato snack Pinnacle. I need you to tell me what the best flavor of crisps is for a Crowbar.
Doritos heat chili, the red one. Is it the red one?
Yeah.
Yes. I like that flavor. Yeah, it's good.
It's good. My son likes them too. And to put the toilet roll in the fridge sometimes if he has too many.
What's your favourite, Shredder?
Oh, a salt. If you can give me a salt and vinegar crisp, which is so salt and vinegary. So if I have fish and chips, I want loads of salt and vinegar. I want a salt and vinegar crisp that's so salt and vinegary, it's almost untenable, that you kind of have it and you go. What about you?
So just to touch on yours, so like a disco when there's a bit too much flavouring on it.
So you're getting the pictures out again.
Yeah. I'll put there. I'm gonna have to now.
Discos are great. Doritos.
Yeah, chili heatwave Doritos, discos, salt and vinegar discos.
Salt and vinegar discos.
Like
there you go. They were a classic. Sometimes McCoys have got too much salt and vinegar on them.
Yeah, I love that.
And sometimes so do Pringles. And that's my only moment where I feel a bit like a cat, and I just want to just sit there, just lick the vinegariness off. I'm like,
I need a crunch to my crisp. So the discos, I like the flavour, but not quite substantial enough because they dissolve in your mouth. My mouth's watering now as we talk about it. My favourite of recent years, and they discontinued them about a year or 2 years ago, which I was horrified about and still in mourning for them. But on the other hand, it's probably good for my waistline and my calorie deficit that they have been discontinued. Are Walker's Max cheese and onion double double cut. I can't remember the exact
They're really
name of
thick.
them. They're really thick,
Yeah.
really crunchy, deep. But the cheese and onion flavor was just like immense. It like knocked you over when you tasted it. Beautiful. My mouth is actually watching talking about Christopher. Right?
Well, for people who are thinking about the deficit, and I've said earlier, well, we've got this Queen's group on WhatsApp in the UK for PAX who are trying to look at losing kilos. I've been struggling again the last few weeks with just snacks, and I was complaining into one of my. So I have my daily Bible reading. I have a daily devotional book, and I'm also doing this thing on ChatGTP where I asked it to do me a kind of daily Stoic leadership reflection. Just give me a thing to read, and it's been really interesting because it's because it understands my job as a pastor. It's looking and it's trying to connect it into Bible verses, and I haven't asked it to do that. So I've been looking at this, and I was in there a few days ago, and it said to me, "What do you want to do in February? Is there any other emphasis you want to add into this daily thing?" And I said, I'm just annoyed by my snacking. And it said, right then, from the 1st of February, this is going to be what we're going to do. You're not going to eat anything that comes out of a packet in terms of snacks. And I'm going, so, obviously not going to be an idiot and go, well, I can't eat pasta. I mean, I don't like pasta, but you know what I mean? So I'm trying to avoid chocolate bar, things like that you just reach. And it said, you even said on it, leftovers. If you've got a bit of leftover something, that's fine, or fruit or whole things. Grab one of those instead of something that you would grab from a packet. And I'm like, I'm going to try that, see if it will help me deal with that silly tendency just to go, I'm stressed or I'm upset about something. I mean, the last couple of weeks, stress a lot, and just go, right then, I'm going to have one of the children's chocolate bars on Christmas because they had farted money. So nothing from a packet is where we're at. Okay, but chili heatwave Doritos, potato snack Pinnacle. Thank you for that.
Noted. When was the last time you changed a car tire?
When I was 22. It's a long time ago. I have a Ford Ranger now, so I wouldn't want to change the tire on that. It would be a bit.
One of my friends had a Ford and it had an underslung spare tire, underneath. And that was one of the most, I remember doing that once, and it was one of the most ridiculous, poor engineering designs I've ever encountered. Because it just got all gritted up and gunked up from use. It just took so long to get the thing down, let alone off. Okay. Perhaps a forgotten skill, especially with a crowbar in your hand. I'd imagine you could do that. Okay. Bit more reflective, maybe this one. So if you could train with anyone for the day and get to chat with them, tell us about who it would be and what you'd want to get out of the day like that.
If I could train with anyone, PAX or
anyone,
anyone.
Come on, this is your dream moment. Who would you, and it could be an individual, it could be a team, you choose.
Ronaldo.
Can't make it happen, so this is your fantasy, brother.
Ronaldo.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd love to. I mean, you look at his life, his story when he was a young boy, came up from the slumps, but football was his dream. He never gave up on it. He kept going. He wanted to be the best. I'm sure there were setbacks. I'm sure there were times when he thought he'd never get there, but he never gave up, right? And it would be really interesting to actually have a training session with someone like that. Yeah, I like football, so, but I mean, equally so, you could, I think there's a lot of great men out there who, and I think, if you think about it, it's, your mind is a powerful force, powerful weapon. that a lot of people don't actually utilize, I think, in the right way. And you can almost, it's like if you've already said or in your mind seen yourself as a failure or set yourself to fail, you're going to fail. But if you've already set yourself to succeed and you know you're going to succeed and you believe it, world's your oyster. Off you go. So, yeah.
What's your pitch to the next man to the office?
For me, I think I would just say, look, you have to come and try it. If you don't like it, you get a refund. Pretty simple. I think for me to e-hate someone, the best, they have to try it. I think a lot of people, especially as men, I think, and the older you get as a man, I think a lot of people have concerns. Are they fit enough? Can they get through that? Is their heart gonna, a lot of people think, their heart, they're older, can they make it? Are they gonna have a heart? There's loads of things that go through people's, thoughts. And I think it's just you just got to tell them, look, try it once, just try it once. If you don't like it, you're more than welcome to leave, but you have to give it a try. Yeah, it hasn't worked yet, but I'll keep trying.
Sometimes you have to just say it 10 times, don't you?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's more. I bumped into a guy on Sunday outside the gym as my children were inside swimming, and I recognized him because I'd chatted with him about 6 weeks before. And I walked over to him and I said, I can see you're exercising today. I said, I remember you from a month or two ago. And he went, oh yeah. And then I said to him, there you go. I said, you need to come to our group. And I just pulled it out of my pocket because I keep them in my pocket now. And I said, you remember I said we have an exercise group? And he went, okay. I said, you have to come and try. But you're spot on. Come and try.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can offer them a double refund if they double your money back.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a £1 billion question, Shredder. I think you should ask this one.
You think I should ask it?
Yeah.
Gosh, okay, it's a lot of pressure. So, if you could do anything for F3, for the movement in the UK at the moment, you do anything, what would you do to help F3 in the UK?
Anything? I would get on breaking news and say, all men out there, you got to get on here. Get on the news, 6 o'clock news. Let's say, hey guys, this is it. You're missing out. You don't know what you're missing out on. I think that's the thing, right? You don't know what you've got until you lose it, right? It's that famous saying, you never know what you got until you, but it's equally, it's pretty much, you don't know what you have until you lose it, but it's the other way around, you can't lose something you don't have either. So you got to find it to actually realize the value of it. I actually managed to get, talking about news, I actually managed to get a BBC presenter to come to the office. I did a Facebook post trying to get some more men out there, and this BBC presenter, because their offices are actually in Thames Valley Park. So this presenter, he sent me a message back on Facebook saying, yeah, I'd love to come and interview you guys, get you guys on the radio. I was like, oh, that's great. So he came along. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't the best. It reminds me of, you watch that movie, Weatherman. What's his name?
Nicolas Cage. Yeah? No.
No. Cable guy. What's his name?
The comedian.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah, Jim Carrey when he's, the Weatherman. Yeah.
Yeah.
And raining, umbrella, trying to record us, and he actually did a few exercises with us, but he interviewed us and posted it on BBC Radio, which was quite good. But yeah, so it would be good to be on the news, 6 o'clock news.
Maybe you guys need to go down to the Oracle Centre and go out by the River Kennet on the deck in there. I was going to say you could climb up to the heights thing. We'll say climb up the Oracle Center and be like, you must go up to F3. But go down to the decking and do some form of event where you get people to compete against you to do 900 Merkins, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I assume all of the area where the Oracle is and the River Kennet running through, that's all decked and that still gets used by shops and restaurants and stuff. Because it used to when I lived near.
Well, where we are in the Thames Valley kind of business park, it's like there where Microsoft and Oracle and that are. The river's quite set back from
not the Thames
field,
there. I mean down in the town centre, in Reading town centre, where the Oracle is.
Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm thinking about because we have the Oracle. We have in Thames Valley Park. We also have the Oracle.
You have Oracle for the company Oracle.
Yes. I was thinking of. Okay, yeah.
No, the Oracle Centre in Reading Town Centre. You should look and see if you could do an event. Because outside the back of the Oracle Shopping Centre was places like, when I was living near, there was Jamie's Italian and there was McDonald's and there was
still there,
Bella Italia's and all of those things. And there's a cinema maybe or something.
View Cinema,
Kennet goes through it. You could try and do an event there.
Get a marquee out there and
get a marquee. Raise some awareness, invite the press.
Yeah.
Do a Merkin off.
I am so part of my F3 journey now. I am looking to start an AO. I have I found a location. Just got to try and get permission now. So
another Reading.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Nice.
It will be. I live on the west side of Reading. I think it's west.
Yeah.
Going more out towards Oxford way.
Okay.
Pangbourne. So I live in Tylehurst, but the office is on the other side of Reading, which is So it will be.
You're near Sainsbury's. You're near the Sainsbury's end of Tylehurst, or are you in a bit where the massive park is?
I'm that side of Tylehurst. Yeah, that side of Reading. Yeah.
So we used to go there a lot because obviously where I live, because I was in Thatcham. So Newbury. So we used to go to the IKEA, the Sainsbury's.
Yes.
We used to go out to Thiel, to the nature centre there at Thiel. I can't remember what it's called. Beale Park.
Beale Park. Yes. Been there with the kids a few times.
So I mentioned I mentioned that west area to Crust. It's ripe for it, isn't it? And you've got that new housing down by the M4 as well. That's so exciting. See, we're growing. Look, another AO fleet.
Hopefully, yes. We've got to, gonna get it going. Soon.
That's brilliant, brother. That's so exciting. Yeah. Because Reading's a big growing place, man.
There's lots, and funny enough, it's every morning when I get in the car to go to the office for a workout, I see so many guys running, but I think that location is on the other side. It appeals more to people on that side. Whereas, and I think if we had to bring it more into this side of Reading, I think you'd get more packs. And
you absolutely would.
Yeah.
I mean, that excites me loads. I mean, we've got friends that live in the Thatcham and Newbury area, and there's one or two of them I look at and I'm like, you would absolutely love F3. It's just got their name written all over it, and that's good. Yes, growth. Sorry, I get too excited now.
I love the growth section. I love the growth. I think that's a £1 billion question successfully asked that suddenly turned into Shredder's Blast from the Past section. We'll move on to
local knowledge. Apologies.
It does help. Yeah, it does help. A little bit. Any feedback to the podcast? We had anything in the email inbox this week, Shredder?
No. Yeah, the email inbox is very quiet. We would love anybody to mail us, or you can text. There you go. It's going up above. You can text and get in touch. We like feedback. Saves us having to make it up, because obviously, in the lack of feedback that we had, I wanted to ask you what your favourite new Ninja ice cream recipe's been in the last 2 weeks, Flea. What's been your top pick?
Okay, I did I did make a Lotus Biscoff toffee banana blend, but with protein powder in as well, like a neutral protein powder. So that was great because the banana added the chewiness. A dollop of Biscoff spread, crunchy spread, which, to be honest, that didn't really do anything. I found you get more flavouring from the biscuit on the mix-in phase.
I've got something for you on that. Keep going.
Yeah, that was a bit peaky though. That was about 370 calories for the pint of ice cream, whereas everything I've been making so far has been like 220. Fresh food, light powder, Angel Delight's also good to bulk it up and make it a bit creamier. Yeah, and then just before jumping on here, there was some almost out of date mango at Aldi that was 75% off. So I was like, grabbed like three packets of that, got that all in the blender, whizzed that all up, almond milk, protein powder, banana. So just chuck them in the freezer, and that's tomorrow's
Nice
mid-afternoon snack, and that'll be about. I didn't do I did it. I haven't looked at it though, but probably about 200 calories per pint, which fine.
So I'm going to say at this point with the Biscoff one, I got put onto chocolate flavor powder. I know that sounds a bit silly, but the company that I buy the sauce from, who's called Prozis, they do these flavor powders, and they're about £8 or £9, and basically for a little tiny scoop, which is 3 grams, you get a massive boost of the flavor. Well, I now found they do a Biscoff, right? So for 8-9 calories, I was putting it in my coffee. So my first coffee in the morning when I get home, not the BD coffee, usually is a mushroom coffee. So I'll have lion's mane or I'll have reishi or something like that. And some of the mushrooms are a bit bitter in coffee. But if you put just like a gram of this Biscoff flavor in it, it tastes almost like a bit like a mocha latte, but Biscoffy. I would highly recommend, because my favorite flavor the last 2 weeks has been double chocolate with a scoop of this 7-calorie flavor powder, and it makes it just very nice. So nice, as I said just before we went on air, that my glorious wife, long may she live and reign, is stealing my ice cream every day.
Yeah.
So it's not enough that I cook meals for her dutifully every day.
No.
Make her, I made her soup this week again from fresh stock. You know, chickens, slow cooking in the Ninja for the stock. She's now stealing my ice cream. It is a good job that F3 is for men only, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, you had your awesome event, didn't you, in Leeds at the weekend, Flea? How did it go?
Yeah, we had a rather nice C-Sup, which the team up in Yorkshire put on. Great job by the organising committee in putting on a 4.5-hour beatdown. So I was a little bit tender on Sunday, and this morning, Monday, was a recovery session, which was planned. But the Saturday morning session was a 30-minute beatdown at the factory. And then hay bale seemed to magic this log out of somewhere. Don't know where he's got it from, but he's a farmer, so he's got access to stuff like that. We reckon it was about 150 kilos, 160 kilos, with a couple of metal spikes through each side.
Like you put rebar in it or something.
Yeah, it's almost like rebar bars, yeah. And then it was tasked that 4 guys from the packs will then carry this log from the factory to the mansion, the other AO, which is about 4 miles away. And it was a 4 minutes on, rotate, 4 minutes on, rotate, 4 minutes on, rotate. And there were effectively 3 teams. No, there were 4 teams on rotation. Yeah, so shoulders are a bit tender. So we carried this log. We got to the mansion. We arrived pretty much in time for park run. I was worried that it was going to be a 5K park run, but it wasn't. We just sent on a 2.5 kilo run around the lake. Come back, and as soon as we got back, hay bale was doing a Tabata for us, and we did about a solid 35 minutes of Tabatas, back to back hit, and then back to the factory with the log.
Wow.
And it was like, But then it was decided by the team that we weren't going to be back in time, so we ditched the log and we were made to walk pronto back to bit of jog on, bit of walking back to the factory. And when we got back to the factory, it was a sprint round the park to finish off. And yeah, so that was pretty good. Clocked 2,000 active calories on the watch, and I was tired. Fell asleep on the sofa in the afternoon. Yeah, I didn't want to do anything yesterday. It was great.
It's nice to have the kids at a certain age where they don't mind you just sleeping.
No, they were still asleep when I got home.
I mean, in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, they do.
So I have a question. Talking about these afternoon naps, how many of your M's approve of these afternoon naps?
Mine's fine because my wife can sleep any time of day, anywhere, and she does sleep. So for me to have one nap per year in the afternoon is fine.
It's on record here, isn't it?
No, when I started F3, because we have our beatdowns right on a Saturday, and I go to the beatdown, come home, have some breakfast, sit on the sofa, and I have a little nap. And she was like, "This F3 is making you sleep more than anything. All you do is you come home and you want to have a nap." Yeah, now my body's used to it, but
I don't get them. I don't get naps. The children don't allow it. It's not in the program. I'm more likely to suffer a heart attack if I have a nap, because one of them will try and wake me up in the scariest way possible, and you're dozing on, Daddy! I'm glad you had a good CSUP. It did look pretty intense. Did the log somewhere in Leeds still, or is it?
The log is with hay bale, and it's going to come out again at some point. Yeah, it's there. It's branded up F3. They did a good job carving F3 into it all over. There's some pictures that will be up on screen, and yeah, it was nice. We stuck the AO flag in the top, and we carried it.
You saw that? I saw the pictures of the AO flag.
It's nice.
The good thing about sticking rebar through it is when you did the GTE Crowbar, did you have to do log sit-ups with your log?
Log sit-ups. All of you in a line, right?
Log big boy sit-ups in a I dropped out on the Valor on the log good mornings. My lower back started to twinge, and I dropped out of one exercise for a minute. But we did the pass in and all of those bits. But the log sit-ups are actually quite cool. It reminded me of something you see on sort of one of those beach special forces things where they're trying to drown them in the sea with a log, log sit-ups. But you couldn't do that with that bad boy because the rebar would be in the way. That's so much fun. I mean, this is one of the great things about F3. We're boys, and we're having a laugh. And like you say, men, you've got to come and try it.
Yeah, we have 4 guys down from the northeast as well who ventured down the A1 to come and join us. So yeah, open doors, and we had a great session.
Good. That is good. Long may they reign, these sessions. I've got some welcome homes to do. Shall I do them?
Yeah, let's do them.
Cool. So AOQs, Weasel Shakers, you're working hard to get people to have their first experience, to stand there and be told, you're an FNG, a friendly new guy, and massive respect to everybody that's posting on Facebook or social media places, other M's reaching out to their friends to say, look, get your husbands in. And we can do this. We can welcome some men home. So at the Wilberforce, we want to welcome 180. At the Hall, we're going to welcome Stretch from the reserve. Billiard. Highway, they are definitely firing on all cylinders. We can welcome Chuck, Ice, Allbach and Boiler. And at Billingshurst, currently, still Crowbar has his way, the newest AO in the UK so far, we have Gaffer and Admin. And at the Landing, we have Trunk. And finally, according to the list I've had, we have at Foxhole, I'm going to say Sloth. It's Sloath. So I don't know if it's been misspelled or it's really called Sloth. But whoever you are, brother, we are glad that you're part of our family. So welcome home.
Is it Foxhole or the Foxhole?
I think it's the Foxhole, but I know, because it's nice to get those mentions and shout outs in America. Our wonderful brothers in America, I think, find it funny that we want to put the in front of everything here. It's just because we're so polite and orderly, you know. So there you go. So when you do get your Tilehurst AO, which reminds me, when we finish recording this, I want to tell you 2 names I discovered on Saturday that we can't use for a potential new AO in London. So we do that when we're finished. But yes, when you name Tilehurst or that area there, you'll have to decide, is it the or just?
So for those listening on the audio podcast, yeah, please share, please tell your friends, please tell other packs. We want everyone in F3 to be hearing these conversations and these stories from our fellow packs in the UK. You know, like Crowbar, got some fantastic stories to tell about his life in F3 and life before and how life's changed since joining. Those watching on YouTube, don't adjust your colour balance. My nose is a little bit red due to this horrendous man flu I've had for the last week. But that shouldn't stop you from sharing it and telling everyone to watch, including hi to Shredder's mum. Thanks for watching. You're lucky.
Brilliant.
That's all I said to Shredder's mum. Anyway, please share the podcast. We'll put it up on Band, on Slack, everywhere else who'll care to watch it. We'll get it up. Yeah. Any final words from you, Crowbar, before we wrap this up?
Yeah, just keep it real, and to all the Qs, just keep smoking the packs. Yeah, keep them coming.
So thank you for everyone who's tuned in. We'll be with you in 2 weeks' time, hopefully, with another new guest from another part of F3 UK. So we'll see you in the gloom. And that's all today from the UK and from the Cadence team. Bye.
Hi.
All right.